What up? What up, stream?
Hindi chat. Stream.
Wala pang chat. Wala pang chat. Father
You-
Bruce.
Bruce, congratulations, by the way.
On what?
So you're,
What are we congratulating Bruce
He
for?
defended his thesis.
yeah, defended his thesis.
Akala ko the
Congrats,
other
man.
thing from the last weekend.
Yung ano?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sa yun.
Yeah.
Congrats, Bruce.
Congrats, Bruce.
Yeah, yeah. Bruce had a hell of a week.
Oo.
Yeah.
Daming nangyari sa buhay ni Bruce.
Mm.
Sana all.
D Prime, what's up, brother?
Love the Prime. Did anyone get to go to the meet and greet in James Gunn, David Cornsweat earlier this morning?
May nakita ako na nag-post na, oh, James Gunn shook my hand. Tapos
Yeah,
kita mo yung exact
yeah.
moment.
Wow, that's cool.
I am walking distance from Bridgetown, pero it was the event was too early. So if anyone was there.
Yung ba yung for Superman?
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. I saw it as well online, the setup.
Yep. Tapos sa MOA yung ano ngayon, yung meet and greet. Much like previous meets and greets.
Yeah. At the peak pala, I just saw a picture. At the peak, Kenny had 4 belts at the same time.
What was the
Because-
fourth?
Sa'yo eh.
Rev
Because
Pro?
the TNA Championship, they had the new one and he revived the old one when he defeated
yeah.
Moose
Right.
in a match.
But it was
It
still
was the-
3
yeah.
championships.
Yeah, it was still 3 championships. But the TNA World title had 2 belts at that time.
What up,
Which,
Ina?
when Christian defeated Kenny for it, he retired the old one.
Right.
Yun. Kaya pala may image na 4 yung belt ni Kenny. But I can only remember 3 titles that he had at the same. Then bigla ko natandaan. That's what happened.
Anong say mo, Emil, about the Lakers sale?
I mean, I'm hearing good things about it kasi it's the same ownership group that owns the Dodgers, and the Dodgers is having a hell of a last 3 years or 5 years, diba? They got the guy, they got Shohei, so no people are expecting big things.
I can't wait to see you burn your jersey if they somehow trade Luka for like
I don't think they're gonna.
platter.
I don't think they're gonna do that. They're not the Mavericks new ownership.
Mm-hmm. That's also what Dallas fans thought.
Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. If you think about it, it's really incredible na like the bus they handled the Lakers for as long as they did. Kasi other teams they eventually they sold the 2 bigger ownership, mga conglomeration. But it stayed like a family business for like from 79.
The Lakers are not a family business. What are you talking about?
They
Family
were.
business ang puta.
I mean, see,
You can't call a corporation a family business.
No, what he means is, syempre, it was ran by one family.
Yeah, one family for like from 79 until like now. Which is for other sports teams, you can't exactly say the same.
Technically, child of owner naman si Jeannie Buss. Diba?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So family business niya.
But yeah, I'm happy for it.
All right, time to shut up now.
music and please. My name is Colin Cash Money Cannon.
What do we want to talk about?
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
You're still just a kid. Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Because mommy is always on top.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
I'm home.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
To say his name.
Today, man, he appears.
Stan C, the voice of Philippine wrestling, University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Romoran, the fancy dad, University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Chino Diao, Best Gout Machine, San Sebastian College, Recoletos, College of St. Benilde, De La Salle University, International Academy of Film and Television.
Emil Nate, small forward, the Ateneo de Naga University.
Rowan ASH, bad boy ng dance floor ng Quezon City, Central Scholar University, Manila.
I love you solo. Then you're listening.
And you're listening
to the Wrestling Podcast. And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
to the Wrestling Podcast.
Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
You're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah.
You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Stancy Romoran and the biggest fan of Eric Eruption Tai, Emil Nate, checking in on this beautiful Thursday live stream. And we had to mention Eric Eruption Tai because we're having such a blast dito sa Patreon group natin. A bunch of us, myself included, actually saw Eruption in person over the last week alone. And feeling namin it's only a matter of time until we can make that shout out for Emil Nate happen.
Ayaw nyo kasing tanungin eh. The man is, you tell the man that Emil's a big fan.
I mean, he was far away from where I was at. Like, I had to work. I had to stay where I was at.
Patron MJ. Pinakamalapit.
Oh. Like, he actually got a selfie.
It's eerie na paisa-isa nyo na nami-meet in person si Eruption. Sa Patreon group natin. Like,
the man's everywhere.
yeah.
Also, Emil, technically, I have met the man. Like, I actually hosted an event where he was one of the guests there. So,
no, I mean, recently, in the last, 2 months.
The last week. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh. So, whether you're a patron or not, kung makita nyo si Eruption, please say that our boy Emil Nate is a huge fan. Get a video shout out. Let's see kung mapasayaw pa siya ng ting-ting-tang for Emil.
That'll be the day. Malapit na. I feel it in my bones. Malapit na siya.
Man.
We're gonna make that happen for Emil. Lots of fun stuff happening. Those are some of the fun conversations we have in our Patreon group. Emil Nate, let him know about the other stuff going on sa Patreon group natin.
Right, so aside from all that stuff, you can enjoy things. You can enjoy our Discord community. You can enjoy having first dibs on everything by subscribing to our monthly Patreon and gag page. It's at patreon.com/wrestling podcast and gagdown.com/wrestling2xpod. For as low as $5. Like I said earlier, the Discord community is always fun. Always fun to discuss things. Also, it's also funny, funny stuff going on as a Discord, which makes me laugh every single time. And again, you'll get first dibs to everything. You get first dibs to access to tickets to our events, our viewing parties, sa mga pasabays. So you get all that and more. Again, it's patreon.com/wrestling podcast and gagnow.com/wrestling2xpod.
All right. One more thing to shill here. Ro, let them know about the best ways to watch WWE live legally.
Yeah, meron pang WWE television on Blast TV, but if you also have a VPN like we do, you can also watch it on Netflix, and you can also apparently watch AAA in Mexico and Max if you have a VPN. But all of that you can do All of that you can do with the Converge and Netflix fiber plans, starting at 17.98 for 300 Mbps and 25 Mbps bonus with Netflix Basic, all the way up to 2298 yung plan ni Emil Nate kasi di siya hampas lupa tulad namin. 300 Mbps plus 200 Mbps and Netflix Premium. So if you have a big family at home, everyone's watching Netflix on their devices, this is the way to go. It enables everything you want to watch, not just wrestling, but also the other stuff on Netflix, so many other stuff. Palabas na, malapit na ang Squid Game Season 3, the final season. So if you were looking for a way to bundle Netflix in one bill and your internet, eto na yun. Just go to gofiber.ph or head to your nearest Converge office kung meron malapit sa inyo. It's really a sulit deal. We vouch for it. You should go get it.
All right. Let's start with some news from outside the ring. Earlier this week, nag-publish ang article yung Sports Illustrated dun sa kanilang wrestling portal, The Takedown, that AEW and Jon Moxley are getting sued by a production crew member who worked with AEW from 2019 until 2023. So yung allegation niya is various degrees of negligence by AEW and Mox alongside civil assault and battery. So there was an episode of AEW Dynamite where Mox and Kenny Omega had a steel cage match, and this production crew member, his name is Christopher Dispensa, was actually shoved by Mox during a spot where Mox grabbed a screwdriver. So ina-allege ni Christopher Dispensa that he suffered severe neck and shoulder injuries because he was shoved to the ground unexpectedly by Mox during the match with Kenny Omega. Sinabi rin niya doon sa lawsuit na he required cervical fusion surgery, shoulder surgery, and treatment for other unspecified injuries because of the incident.
Yeah, okay. So here's the wrestler take here. You can say whatever you want to say about the timing of this guy's lawsuit. You can say whatever you want. Na 2 years after the fact siya nag-file. The fact of the matter is, if he did not consent to be a physical part of this match, of this entire event, then Jon Moxley, even if he was in character, he had no legal right to touch him kasi hindi siya consenting member of the act, of the performance, of the physical performance. So he's caught in a bind here. Unless see Moxley and AEW. So unless they can produce a waiver that that the guy might have signed, saying that because you are here working for AEW on this event, you may be touched, you may be put in physical contact with the performers, with the wrestlers. If they have that document, they're safe. But it doesn't look like they do, because I think this guy was working crew, diba? So unfortunately, even if you say that you're method acting, you are in character 100% of the time. If they're not part of the act, then they're not part of the act. And talo ka dun. The best way that they can make this go away is for TK to just settle with the guy. Settle with the guy, whoever he's actually suing. If it's AEW or Jon Moxley himself. So they have to settle with him because nobody wants a big legal mess. It's a shakedown. There's no other way around it. It is a shakedown, and AEW and Jon Moxley do not have the cards against it.
I agree with Ro pretty much, like with everything that he said. It all comes down to it all comes down to whether or not he knew that he was gonna be physically involved in the match. So if he was aware, then may laban pa sila, and then yun nga, yung sinabi ni Ro, if they can produce a waiver that they signed, like, yun, may lusot pa sila doon. But if it's not, then but then again, this all just comes down to, just settlement, I guess. Like tama nga si Ro, if I'm TK, I'll just like settle with the guy and not make this into a bigger issue. Although I read the article about it, and it's weird na parang may character may character assassination kay Moxley. People like in this article I read na this guy had a history now of being dangerous and professional, which is it was debunked by people it was debunked anyway by people inside AEW na they're not aware of it. So it's like yes, like siguro you could pinpoint to that incident as yes, Mox did hurt the guy, but to assassinate the guy's character was just weird.
Mox is an easy target kasi, especially with fans, with watchers, with viewers. It's easy to take aim at Mox out of the three Shield members. Siya ang pinakamadaling targetin kasi he is the most deranged. He's the most unhinged out of the three of them. So I get it. But let this be a lesson na lang to all wrestlers if you're listening to this podcast, from one wrestler to another. Do not try as much if you're not doing it intentionally, try your best to avoid contact with people who are not wrestlers or in-ring personalities. Diba? Just avoid it as much as you can. Talagang it's a mess out there. Unless these people have signed a waiver. So yun lang talaga. There have been also people who don't know better, who think it's okay to make contact with audience members, make physical contacts with audience members. They're not part of the show. They did not consent to be part of the show. So do not mess with audience members. Do not mess with anyone who did not consent to be part of the show. Yun lang naman. You would be surprised at how much this isn't taught. So we have to learn it as well. Not personally, but here in our local scene, there have been some instances where that people legit didn't know. They were playing characters. They didn't know that it's dangerous. It's really iffy to make an audience member or someone who is not a wrestler be a part of the act of the show.
Yeah, I think it's been enough time, diba, that's passed now. We can actually talk about it. There was a
Sure.
Yeah, so there was a kid that was spat on by the YOLO twins. This happened when we were all at PWR many years ago.
It's not just this. I am not just thinking of this as an example. So there's also been times where wrestlers get sent to the crowd, get whipped into the crowd. Tapos land of people.
Yung binuhusan ni MJF ng
tequila,
yung bata. Yung bata sa ringside.
Yeah. So you can, yes, it's heel work, it's heel character work, but legally it's super iffy. So don't don't do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Since we were talking about like legalities and law stuff, I might as well take this time to congratulate the Beast Mortos for his really high grades and for passing the bar.
Yun lang? Is that all we're congratulating him for?
Congratulate bang tao for having a very hot girlfriend?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, fine. Congratulations as well sa love life ni Beast Mortos because
And
apparently
Mercedes.
ang chismis is that his girlfriend is Mercedes Monet. So,
No, it's not even chismis.
TMZ
she confirmed
reported it.
No, she
nag-hard
confirmed
launch
it.
na ba?
No, she confirmed it.
So hard launch na nga.
Yeah.
And I saw
cool.
TMZ.
No, the
pretty much
picture
reported it.
was him hard launching her, and then she confirmed it.
Okay, well, good for them. Congratulations on the hard launch. The Beast Mortos winning at life. When I first saw this man on my screen, I never would have guessed that he was in the legal profession as well. And now we are doubly surprised that not only is he looking forward to help you divorce your spouses, he is also apparently with one of the hottest stars in the entire world of wrestling.
Beauty and the Beast
Beauty and the
Mortos.
Beast, yeah.
Good stuff. Sometimes these news bits can surprise you in the most pleasant of ways. All right, let's segue off of that and congratulate Mercedes Moné as well for adding another championship to her collection. She has captured the CMLL World Women's Championship by defeating Zeuxis at Grand Slam Mexico. So, apat na yung championships that she currently has, but she's carrying 5 belts. And after the match, si Tony Storm nagpakita, Mina Shirakawa also distracted Mercedes, and Tony in her Carmen Sandiego getup surprised Mercedes, did a suplex, and parang Sonic coins yung mga championship belts nung nagsitalsikan sila.
Yeah, okay, Emil, you want to say anything about this?
We talked about this kanina, no? Sa pre-show, we said
before anyone got to hear it, yeah.
Yeah, before anyone got to hear it, na, it's hard for anyone to really defeat or, dethrone Money of any of the championship because she's so OP. But now that I think about it, is this maybe a way, her having 5 belts? Is this a way to probably compensate her losing at All In. Okay, she's gonna lose, but she's still champion in four different different
No,
promotions.
no, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the reason why. I think it's really just because ang hirap patalunin ni Mercedes, considering um the people she's been wrestling are smaller stars. Not to take anything away from them or to offend them, but they're just not on the level superstar wise as Mercedes Moné. So um it's hard for someone to lose to someone who is not on your level on paper, diba? And the other way to go about it is to have a non-finish or an anticlimactic ending, which they also don't want to do. They say it's AEW and they want to satisfy the viewer as much as possible. So they are really put in a pickle here. It will be tough. It's already tough having Mercedes lose to anyone, especially as one of the top champions in the world. But it's going to be even tougher for all of these other promotions to find a way to have their next contenders beat Mercedes.
How about for the world championship though? For the AEW World Championship.
Depende.
Yeah.
You still have 3 weeks left until All In, so it depends on what happens there. How they build up to it heading into the weekend.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about more highlights from Grand Slam Mexico, and then we'll cross over to WWE for the news of the week coming from that side of the pond. For now, though, let's hear from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. All right, hope you enjoyed that dance break. Special request namin yan kay Babyface producer
It's so
Jasper.
good though. It's so good. Be proud of yourself.
I should have deleted that video.
You should be proud of
Oh,
yourself.
yes, you should have.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
I
should
can't-
have.
Pinost mo kaya sa memories mo.
Yeah, exactly. It was a pandemic. It was all of like I was bored out of my mind. You know.
Oh, lahat naman tayo, but none of us, like, we didn't have, like, dance videos sa may mean mugging.
Yeah. No, but it's there. You know, I'm not ashamed of it. It's just,
Yeah,
it's
you
just
should
fun.
not be. It was a good one.
There are other people with more things na dapat nila ikahiya.
Oh, tama yan.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to the wrestling talk. Hangman Adam Page had a big night at Grand Slam Mexico. He opened and closed the show, and I did not know that the man could speak Spanish. He cut a promo entirely in Spanish, which was pretty impressive. And props to Excalibur for doing his best to translate then in the moment. I know that must not have been easy as well, since hindi rin niya nakuha lahat ng sinabi ni Hangman. But, you could see that Hangman had a really good handle on the language and sa pulso ng mga taga Arena Mexico. So, good job, Hangman.
Yeah, it was pretty white Spanish, but it was altogether really impressive. It felt like he was, he actually knew how to speak the language. It wasn't just a memorization effort here, but it was really good. It was a good way to show that he was a man of the people. It was a really good move for them to trot him out to open the show and actually have him connect and resonate with the crowd, with the local crowd. So kudos to them. And this kind of is a good step in the direction toward Hangman being the guy to beat John Moxley.
Yeah, it was pretty wild to hear him speak in Spanish. It reminded me of whenever Kenny Omega would do promos in Japanese in
Ah,
front of the Japanese crowd. Parang ganun
right.
yung feeling eh. Like, this Canadian white boy can speak Spanish. This this white boy from Virginia can speak Spanish. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's also a way to connect with the local crowd, which yun nga, they started the show. That was a perfect start to the show. They brought him out there, set the tone. The crowd was really hot for him, and nadala yon yung momentum na yon until the rest of the night. So it was a very cool moment, and just I don't know, pretty much yun, reason why Hangman is the main guy in AEW because he could apparently do everything.
Yeah, feeling ko it's also from his background as a teacher, diba?
Yeah,
He
definitely.
was a school teacher before he committed to wrestling full time. Hangman also closed the show because there was a big 10-man tag team match, and after the fact, the Death Riders were doing Death Rider things. The Young Bucks were also a part of it, and then when Swerve looked like he was about to get taken out by Mox and his friends, Hangman came out and saved Swerve Strickland.
Yeah. Again, more character work. Really good beats. Siyempre, hindi lahat ng stories na nagagawa nila ng ganito. But when they are able to, hit the right beats, then it's also really, really good. And props to them for just continuing this, especially at the end of a 2.5 hour television broadcast.
Yeah, I did like though na yes he saved Swerve, but it didn't look like it. Kasi it didn't look like it kasi he just really came out just to mess with with the heels.
Sure.
And he never interacted with Swerve at all during that final segment. So but still progress towards yung possible reconciliation between them, which I don't think is now, but as we near All In, I think they're going to get to.
Yeah. Good catch there, Emil. Kasi, di ba, yung mga stereotypical wrestling baby faces, when they're saving someone, when they're rescuing someone, they'll check on the person they're saving after the fact, di ba? You see that with Cody Rhodes, with Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, but in this case, it's like beeline lang talaga for Mox, and then wala nang pake about the other baby faces.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saving Swerve lately.
Yeah, it was Will Ospreay last week. Kasi ngayon si Hangman naman.
Yeah, what does that tell you about the most dangerous man in AEW?
I think it's them teaching, it's the story teaching Swerve na kailangan niya ng backup.
Yun, yeah.
And
Kasi
it's okay.
he's the one hesitant kasi, di ba?
Yeah.
When they did the promo yun.
He needs to accept that people are out there for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Let's also talk about MJF and the and him just healing it up, like going back to the America themed everything to the point that he almost got jumped after the show. Yung outfit niya was actually very El Grande Americano coded.
Yeah, I wish they didn't do that. I know why they did that, and I know that it was a low hanging fruit for them to do that. Well, you really have to be cognizant of what the competition is doing. Like, and I know MJF watches WWE because he himself says that he watches WWE. Diba? So, if he does watch WWE like he says he does, he would have known that if he was gonna go out there wearing that, talagang compare siya kay EGA. So it was a bad look, and not in a heelish way. It was more of you need to watch these things to not be the same. It's like some people, it's like most people coming out in black gear, on the same show. But sorry, what? Go ahead.
No, although para sa akin may difference naman eh. Kasi, no, if you think about it, Grande Americano's gimmick is just like, it's just against luchadors. But MJF's more, I'm Mr. America. I'm like, America's number one.
He was literally fighting a luchador.
Yeah, in
Mexico.
That's
he was
where
trying to unmask a luchador in Mexico, Emil.
That's where I think the comparisons came. But the gimmick itself, they're kind of different. But it didn't help. They literally did this program a week after or 2 weeks after the Chad Gable match. But
wait before that. They could have done the exact same thing without having MJF be Mr. America. I didn't need Mr. America for him to hate luchadors. The story was him pissing all over Mystico's legacy. To the point that
Yeah.
Mystico had to come out and visibly destroy the Sin Cara
Ah.
iconography for him to be for him to finally put the gimmick to rest.
What did you think about that?
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was interesting that it was interesting to note that AEW was the one that put some closure on a WWE's character and storyline.
Yeah.
And I actually like that they gave Mystico the opportunity to really just close that coffin. Diba? So that was a nice touch. I felt it made MJF's pot shot from last week feel more than a pot shot now. Okay, if you know, you know, diba? It's more than just an if you know, you know reference. It became a character moment for Mystico, especially for those who don't watch CMLL and what he's been doing in Mexico since leaving WWE. Diba? So it was a nice touch for them to do that. Obviously, it was more out of respect to Mystico than WWE, but I enjoyed that bit. Nagawan nila ng character, ng story beat from that.
Yeah. So maybe for some people, or for even for most people, this is the first time that they have seen him since his
Yeah.
WWE days.
I'm sure.
So parang to acknowledge lang na previously this guy was in WWE, he was this guy, and now he's doing much better. He's doing bigger things in CMLL, and he's putting that character behind him, which was a symbolic thing, for him. Which is, I dig it. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that is it's also one of those things na I think could still go over people's heads. Like, if you didn't know, kasi diba, Sin Cara has been away from WWE television for about a decade.
Yeah,
so,
well,
if you came into the fandom after Sin Cara's time, or if you didn't know na Mystico was Sin Cara, you probably wouldn't have guessed, diba?
No, because AEW is the research crowd, so they know.
Oh, yeah.
They know who they were dealing with. They know who they were watching on their screens. So, they know na walang closure si Mystico as Sin Cara, diba? They just let him go and then had Unico take over the gimmick. So everyone knows that. If you watch AEW, you probably already know that because you are on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
It makes up for the fact that they only have like a week to tell the story. So I don't mind it as much.
Mm-hmm. What did you guys think about Mystico going out that way? Na, he got low blowed several times, as inupakupakan pa siya and got unmasked.
He won the match.
It was DQ, di ba?
Yeah, it was a
DQ. Yeah.
So,
I thought it wasn't over yet. It felt like something bigger was going to happen. Like, not now, but, since MJF doesn't have a real story outside of him trying to join the Hurt Syndicate, I felt like they were building up to something bigger.
Yeah, yun yung feeling ko after the match. It's not just a one-time thing because of the DQ finish, and we're probably gonna see Mystical stateside more.
All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll cross over naman to WWE and talk about the return of Goldberg right after this.
Kamukha mo si Christopher Diwata dun.
What?
Yeah, dude. That was like how many pounds ago was that? Emil? How many pounds ago was that?
How many years?
How many pounds ago was that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Pandemic pa to eh. Baby,
Yeah,
baby
so in
ka pa eh.
2021. Yeah.
Next thing you know, mapapawat half and vela ka na rin.
Remember, kids, we're trying to make him famous.
Baka Emil, kailangan lang magreklamo ka na minimispell ng mga Starbucks barista yung pangalan mo.
Oh, that happens. That happens like all the time.
Yes, Emil, because how the hell would they know na silent E yung second E mo?
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I just let it go.
Who doesn't know? Okay, sorry.
I just let it go. Yeah, but that's why I was surprised when when I found out one wrestler who has the same first name as me. Like, that's a thing.
Speedball.
Yeah, speedball. That's a thing. That's a legit spelling. I thought,
Yes, your name is a legit spelling in France, dude.
Exactly. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to more wrestling talk. Who's next? Goldberg is next. He's back. Totoo yung chismis, the rumors online, and he is going up against Gunther at Saturday night's main event to close the loop on what Gunther started at Bad Blood in Atlanta sometime in October last year. So, people are saying online na baka ito na yung retirement match ni Goldberg. So, what do you think about this?
I hate this. I'm going back to play Nathan for this.
Yo!
Oh!
Hindi ka nagsabi agad.
Oo, hindi ka nagsabi. Hindi kami gumawa ng graphic.
How
could you?
Because I just watched Raw earlier. Okay. I just seen Raw.
Yeah, but you knew about the news for a couple of days now.
Really, Gunther? I mean, Goldberg? 2025? You're gonna give him a title match? If it was a singles match, I would have been fine with it. Like, okay, have your one last shine, have your one last match. But what did Goldberg do to deserve? What has he done to deserve a World Heavyweight Championship match? Kung yung mga wrestlers sa roster has to go through King in the Ring, a regular tournament, just to get a title match. Bakit si Goldberg parang automatic na, I'm Goldberg, that's why I'm getting a title match. Like,
wait, that's your best Goldberg impression? I'm Goldberg.
Yeah, I don't like Goldberg. That's why I'm making fun of him. But really, just why? Why do we need this? Why do we need this match? Why do we need Goldberg? He has so many. We have heard this so many times. Oh, this is gonna be his last match. This is gonna be his last match. It always comes back. He always comes back every single time. So I don't believe that this is actually his last match. I don't, even though his shirt has a last ride on it, but I still don't believe because he has done this so many times before. I'm sorry for that little rant.
Not that I agree with you, but first of all, Saturday night's main event is in Atlanta, so that should tell you why they're doing this match.
Yeah.
Second of all,
my title with it is the title. Why is it a title match? I don't have a problem with the match at all.
What else are you gonna do?
And he played the John Cena card. He used his seniority.
I mean, at least Cena had to win the chamber to have that title match against Cody.
Sure,
so,
I guess.
Oh, di ka nagalit, Emil. Okay na?
No, it just bothers me that Goldberg is getting a World Heavyweight Championship match in 2025.
Who cares? He's gonna lose.
Yeah, I know. But still.
Did you guys see yung post ni Gunther on Instagram na parang sinabi yan na, oh well, I guess I have 3 minutes to spare.
Which, no, I want him to squash Goldberg in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like yun nangyayari.
Because
wow.
Because
I feel like
wait. Okay, go. Siguro.
No, I was just gonna say that. I feel like Goldberg is doing quote unquote Gunther a favor by putting him over in record time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have him squash Goldberg. Like 2 minutes. Okay, that would reverse my feelings right now if it was like a 2-minute match and Goldberg didn't get much offense. Kasi how can you be a world champion when pag may hirapan ka against someone who's 50 years old?
God damn.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you really think all 50-year-old guys
No.
are
Gunther
weak?
is in the prime of his career. It's like having 50-year-old Michael Jordan go up against prime LeBron James.
Suzuki's hitting 60.
Nakaya kay LeBron if he let MJ score.
I've got newsflash for you. Edge and Christian are both in their 50s.
But they're active. Goldberg kasi has been like retired. You see that Edge?
Does that mean he's
Christian,
weak? No.
Yeah, it should be. In wrestling logic, he should be.
Sure.
Yeah. Because he hasn't been competing for a long time.
My theory is that this is Goldberg's thank you for defending him against Bret Hart.
Nako.
Emil, ito, question for you. So, remember Survivor Series 2016 when Goldberg made his comeback and squashed Brock Lesnar in record time, diba?
Yeah.
I remember at least yung corners of the internet where Ro and I were hanging out, everyone's like, yo, what the hell's happening here? Nung nangyari yun. If the same thing happened, except this time si Goldberg naman on the receiving end, do you think that the people in Atlanta would pop or riot?
I think it would pop.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, they would pop. Because let's be, maybe it's 50 or 60% of the audience hasn't seen Goldberg wrestle. Because he's been a while. He's been away for quite a while. So I think they would pop if that happens.
Sobra naman sa a while. He was actually wrestling no ano, diba? 2020s.
Yep.
Like he had that Saudi show, yung Super Showdown, was it? And he was also Universal Champion ng WrestleMania 36.
Oh my God! Don't make me remember.
He was supposed to lose to Roman Reigns, diba? And then Roman had to pull out of WrestleMania, so Braun Strowman filled in and then won the title.
He was a Universal Champion in this decade.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh. Paano na yung ano mo? Paano na yung rant mo, Emil?
It still applies. Kasi, he's not an active competitor, which is crazy considering he was a world champion.
You mean to tell me the guy can't go to the gym anymore and train martial arts anymore?
Oo nga.
I'm just saying, it should not have any offense against Gunther if they're gonna have a match.
Well, good for you, Emil, na you're actually part of the NXT booking team. You can actually pitch that. Diba? Buti pali.
Yeah, have Gunther squash him. That would be the best thing for this match.
Can you imagine? Sorry, go ahead.
And I was just gonna say that he's gonna get offense. I know he's gonna get offense. You're not gonna trot him out to not do the spear and the jackhammer.
No, just a spear, not a jackhammer.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I was about to say, can you imagine a situation about where Gunther and Goldberg are being told by, I guess, Triple H, for example, and Michael P.S. says, ano nangyayari? And then Emil Nate is right there telling them, Goldberg should not have any offense at all. And then all of them are like, alam mo, you're right, Emil Nate. We should listen to you.
That's not gonna happen.
On a serious note, despite your misgivings, I feel like Gunther is like the best guy to guide a 58-year-old Goldberg in one of his last matches.
Why Gunther above everyone else?
You see, that guy knows how to write a match, write a good match, diba?
Yeah.
Like he made Pat McAfee look good.
Oh yeah, yung pa.
Diba? So I think he's gonna make it as physical as possible, and while keeping to Goldberg's strengths at his age at this point. So not that I'm excited for the match, but there is no one better to do this now with Goldberg than Gunther.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm actually not gonna call this match because we don't get to call Saturday night's main event. So we'll all be watching together on YouTube.
Baka pwede tayo mag-viewing party with Carlo.
Oh yeah. I think we can actually make that happen.
You want to go do that? All right, sure. I'll ask any mics.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's see if Gunther versus Goldberg will draw people.
Oh, doesn't matter. Yeah. We're just gonna go have fun.
Yeah, on a Sunday, diba? Sunday morning, inuman tayo, watch wrestling, and make fun of Emil.
Text mo si Sir Ruben after this.
I love how we're planning this live in front of the whole world. Like everyone knows what our plans are now.
I mean, no one wants to watch Night of Champions at midnight. So
yeah.
Si Cristino, siya yung manonood ng Night of Champions at 1 a.m. All right, back to highlights from Raw. This was actually a low light because this was such a bummer. Liv Morgan is injured and she dislocated her shoulder seconds into her match against Kairi Sane. So you could see right away na nag-cut away from Liv. Si Kyrie lang yung pinagfo-focusan ng camera. And dun pa lang, I could tell na it was a serious injury. And then Alicia Taylor announced na Liv Morgan could not continue. All of us were told to say na it was a dislocated shoulder, which it likely is. And yung bali-balita is that she could be out for like 16 weeks. That's 4 months. Which, sucks for Liv Morgan, who is a women's tag team champion, was being set up for a program with Nikki Sawa for Evolution. I just feel terrible for her, man.
Yeah, I don't like. It's bad, but I also don't like people saying, "Oh, this and that person is injury prone." Like, I mean, it's fucking wrestling, guys. We're getting hurt out there every time we step out into the ring. I don't want to hear shit about being injury prone. Like, say that shit for the non-contact sport. Say that stuff for a sport that isn't as physical as wrestling or American football. Diba? So that's just whether it's Liv or guys like Dakota Kai or Nixon Newell. If you want to say that they're injury prone, just shut up. These things happen. So
meron ding problematic rhetoric about Kairi Sane being unsafe. Diba? Kasi diba, the Zoe Stark injury happened, Kairi was in the match, and then this happened. And like, it's also unfair to pit this all on Kairi.
Yeah.
People don't know shit about how people get injured in the ring. So not that I urge you to combat misinformation about how people get injured in wrestling. So both freak accidents between Zoe and Liv, both freak accidents. So just because one person was there for both matches doesn't mean that they were responsible for it.
Yeah.
It was just an unfortunate injury. She was having the best run of her career, in the last year. And we don't know what will happen with their tag team titles with Raquel, and they were setting her up to have a big match against Nikki Bella at Evolution. So sobrang sayang, and get well to her soon, and and let's see what will happen with the Judgment Day storyline here while she's out.
You know what would have helped if they didn't release a bunch of wrestlers.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
There's that.
Tama.
So, yeah, really unfortunate stuff. There's also a reason, by the way, na binabalik-balikan yung the sequence where Liv got injured. It's also to kind of prove the point na, sometimes these freak accidents happen even with the most basic moves. Remember when Pac, when he was known as Neville in WWE, when he got injured, it was a basement dropkick, which
baseball slide.
Baseball slide dropkick, yeah, which a lot of people do. It's like one of those common moves you see in wrestling matches and shows. So you never know. With the bump card that all wrestlers have, and yung frequency of them, getting in the ring for actual matches, the wear and tear on their bodies. Sometimes when it happens, it happens. Crossing over to like basketball, diba? Si Jason Tatum tore his Achilles on yung maling pagplanta ng paa. So
there are so many variables here. So I would very much like it for people who do not get injured frequently because they're not athletes to shut up about this.
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
All right, let's show some love now to the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, who returned and came back with her old theme, the OG Asuka theme, which is a banger. And she punched her ticket as well to the semifinals of the Queen of the Ring tournament.
I just love the OG theme song. I just love it. And di ba C-Post yun, di ba?
Yes. One of their bangers.
There's a chance for the C-Post team to come back.
I think the Vince may beef with them.
Okay, yeah. So there's a chance. They brought back Asuka. It's good to see her back. She's been away for a while, and she was great in that match. It was really good. And I now that I think about it, maybe I have her win Queen of the Ring. I want to
change your pick.
Yeah, I want to see. No, I didn't really pick anyone last week because I said it was wide open. But now after Raw, maybe Asuka versus Io is an intriguing matchup for SummerSlam.
I should
All
learn
right.
that.
Yeah. Ikaw, Ro, your thoughts on Asuka's packaging?
if she's okay with it, like if that's what she wants to do, hindi na siya goofy Asuka, then I'm all for it. I do think that she did need to refarm her aura, as the kids say nowadays, especially after the past couple of years she's had. She's been goofy on social media if you've been following her, but
Yeah.
I think it's time for her to lock back in. And I think they're making her, the old Asuka from a decade ago. Jesus Christ, it's a decade ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, looking at the Raw women's roster, even without Liv Morgan, parang sobrang intriguing din, diba? You have Asuka, you have Io, Bailey, Becky, Lyra Valkyria, Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez. That's a very deep roster.
Yeah, parang naging timely yung call-up nila Stephanie and Roxanne. If you think about it.
Yeah. All right. One more thing from Monday Night Raw. Jey Uso completed the cast of the King of the Ring semifinals by winning his fatal four-way, and then nung in-attack na si Jey, Cody Rhodes came out to save him, and you could see the uneasy tension because yung semifinal matchup ni Jey is against Cody Rhodes.
There was a picture that I saw na yung team ng babyfaces ng War Games 2023 are
Yes,
the
that's right.
semifinalists.
That's right.
Except Seth. There was Orton, Sammy, Cody.
No,
and,
Seth wasn't on that team. Si Jimmy yung wala.
No, I think
Wait,
it was Seth.
hindi si Jimmy.
It was
No.
Seth.
No, Seth would not join the Bloodline. That was his whole thing.
That was the War Games when Punk came back.
Oh nga,
It was Judgment
Seth
Day.
wasn't there.
Huh?
Seth refused to join that team.
Who was in that? Really?
Randy, it was Randy, diba?
Yeah, Randy's in the final four of the King of the Ring. So it's Randy, Cody,
Roman.
Sammy, and Jay.
Oh, Roman was missing, diba?
Parang hindi. Bloodline pa siya nun eh.
Yeah, it was Seth. I just looked it up. It was Seth.
Okay. Mali tayo lahat. Si Emil lang yung tama. Sorry.
You know.
Okay.
But yeah, it's crazy that we have 4 baby faces, on the men's side. Kasi sa bagay, heels parehas yung champions eh. Cena and Gunther. So it only makes sense. But the field it still feels like a Cody win here. I mean,
Ikaw, Ro.
It's tough to say. It does still feel like a Cody win. I still want to put my money on that, but could literally be anyone.
All right. Let's take a break and we'll talk about NXT right after one last Emil Nate dance break.
Hey! Right.
Glad you enjoy that non-AI generated Emil Nate dance breaks. Emil talaga yun.
yeah.
All the way through.
Jasper said he thought it was AI generated.
Hindi AI yun.
Yeah, that was
Yung mean
real.
mugging pa lang ni Emil Nate, totoong-totoo na eh.
Was that mean mugging? I haven't watched it yet. But, I have to see it.
We played it 3 times in the last hour. What the
No,
hell?
I don't see it in our Zoom. Yun yung nakabukas sa akin.
You cannot AI generate those skills, bro.
Oh. May warm-up pa siya eh. May
Oo.
metronome marching in place. Tapos yun na. Umindak na si Emil Nate. All right, let's talk about NXT. And this episode was really all about the women.
Yeah.
There were 6 in-ring segments. 5 of them involved women. You had the Evolution Eliminator matches, and then you had the Fatal Influence and Blake Monroe segment at the end. So, what do you guys think about a women-centric episode of NXT for a change?
It has always been women centric for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Not like this, though.
No, I feel like it has, but not all the time. But it's not the first time. Like I have seen episodes of NXT over the past year that really give more love to the women because their women's roster is so deep. Tapos natagdagan mo pa with Evolve and LFG, diba? So it's been pretty good. Shawn Michaels is for the ladies. It is what it is.
Yeah.
The generational run from.
Yun ang yun ang then, now, forever.
Oh God. I mean, I think it's a hallmark now of HBK's booking, and I feel like he has seen a lot of potential in these women. And not all of them are great yet. Syempre, a lot of them are still works in progress. But this is always what we've needed compared to, let's say, AEW, diba? The only time you had a lot of women's matches on an AEW show was when you were watching the dark shows or the ROH shows now. So TK talaga didn't want to invest that much screen time on the women's division, and unlike NXT where you're able to put on the women and it doesn't feel like you're taking anything away from the men.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yun nga, medyo sanay na rin ako na NXT usually like is dominated by, the segments are dominated by women. So it's not really like, but this episode was really special kasi yun nga, lead up to for Evolution eh. They scheduled all of the qualifying matches for this episode, which I didn't mind.
They do have half the card of Evolution, diba?
Yan. Saka, I didn't mind kasi yung main stories naman on the men's side were also featured, diba? The D'Angelo storyline, Trick Williams and the baby faces. So parang lahat naman ng base was covered except for maybe Ethan and Ricky Saint's storyline. But no, you can always run it back next week. But
they had something going on. But there was a backstage segment with the Vanity Project.
Ayun nga. So ayun, na-cover lahat ng bases in that episode. So tama siguro. It wasn't like no overshadow yung isa't isa. So yeah. That's why NXT is, I think, low-key the best TV program with the weekly TV program right now. It's because they're able to do so much in 2 hours.
Yeah. Speaking of the women here, yung closing segment was Blake Monroe's NXT contract signing, which Fatal Influence crashed, and then later, si Blake Monroe herself, siya yung nag-crash through the table. So I think the big question heading into this week was ano yung alignment ni Blake Monroe, but now I think it pretty much confirms na she's a babyface kasi in-attack siya ni na JC Jane.
Yeah, I told you it was the indie darling babyface push. So
Yeah.
it is what it is, and I feel like people want to cheer anyway because she's
Yeah.
a hot white blonde woman
Who's also good.
Yeah. Let's talk about that theme song though. That theme song was solid.
Pretty good.
Definitely one of the better Def Rebel themes out there.
like a hit or miss Def Rebel in.
Yeah. And yes,
In the same episode, they gave Jordan Grace a new song and people didn't like it.
Yeah, they chanted "Fire Def Rebel."
Talaga? Hindi ko narinig.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did chant it. So, but yeah, the presentation was nice. The presentation was nice. The promo was good, and yeah, it looks like she was put agad in the main storyline here. I don't know if she's gonna get a title shot at Evolution because they have the whole tournament nga for it. But I guess they're saving this for an NXT PLE, which I think the next one is Bash or
Great American Bash.
Yeah, probably for that. Yeah.
I've got a question for you guys. What do you think about women characters in wrestling who outright say na, maganda ako, na talagang pinangangalandakan nila na maganda sila? Like, the glamour character is really all about beating you over the head with how hot she is. The same way na, I guess in AEW ngayon, that's Mina Shirakawa, diba? Na everyone wants Mina.
I don't understand what the question is.
Na parang, is that baby facey to you?
Sure. You're hot.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't think it is what solely defines the alignment. But that's also JC Jane's gimmick. But on the other hand, her personality is also she's a bitch.
Kupal siya.
She's a stuck-up bitch, diba? That was also Toxic Attraction's entire gimmick, character, and they were also bitches. So I don't think that solely defines who a character is.
I ask kasi, diba, like in society, we look at yung mga taong GGSS a certain way na parang, tanga na GGSS sila, and it's seen as a negative. But in wrestling, It's like, oh, okay, maganda siya. Cool.
I mean, you're not performing in real life, diba? You're not portraying a character in real life. And if you are, you're a dick. Diba? Pa-main character ka. We're all just living life here, bro. We're not in a movie or we're not in a TV show, and you're doing a main character thing. That's you being a dick or being an arrogant dick. So that's why it's annoying in real life. But I don't think you reduce the glamour to look at me, I'm beautiful, diba? It's glamorous does not equate to I'm beautiful, diba? To beautiful. It
But
just
yung
means you're
promo
not-
niya is kind of there. It's kind of based there, diba? Na parang, I'm the one you've been waiting for. I'm finally here. Ako yung pinag-uusapan ng lahat. Like, that's kind of the messaging around the glamour character.
But not because she's beautiful. I feel like that messaging is in reference to the fact that, okay, you know who I am. I'm from AEW. I made my name outside WWE. Now I'm here in WWE. So here's what you've all been waiting for. So
yung hype.
not because I'm beautiful and I'm hot, because you have heard of me and now I've crossed over because you don't watch anything else. I think that was a misunderstanding of what the glamour character is, the vignette was about. Meanwhile, the glamour, the mismong definition of glamorous means that you're just fancy and you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fancy and stylish. Yeah. Yun lang, binring up ko lang siya because I guess it's a fun thought exercise. Kasi yun nga, like, society, diba, generally, especially here in the Philippines, would prefer it if other people said na maganda ka as opposed to you telling everyone na maganda ka. You know what I mean? But yeah, you are right na the gimmick itself goes deeper than the actual beauty.
Yung comparison mo of people saying maganda ako in real life is closer to the JC Jane character. Diba? So that's why it comes off as heelish.
Right. Okay. Let's close things out sa NXT with Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura, who are, for me, super fascinating because they're going through a babyface tag team arc that doesn't involve them chasing after the tag team championship anymore. Because they had their shot, they lost, so now Inamura's like, bigger. And now we know what his plan is, which is for them to go after the top championships in NXT and TNA while remaining friends and a tag team. What do you think about that?
I like this a lot. It's really creative. I haven't seen anything like it before. Kasi syempre, your old Vince tropes na apparently you can't coexist if you're going after goals that don't involve the tag team championship, diba? So I like that we're getting more of this kind of story. That it is possible to do other things while you're in a tag team, while you're in a friendship, diba? Parang your friendship as a team in pro wrestling isn't just defined by your chase for the tag team championship. So it's pretty cool. Props to whoever thought of this.
Yeah, ang wholesome nung segment kanina na yes, it was Inamura who pinned the TNA champion, but he gave the title shot to Briggs. That was such a nice moment. Very, very rare in wrestling. You have two baby faces again going after bigger championships. Sobrang rare ng mapagbigay sa wrestling. That's why I was smiling throughout that segment. But I do think this leads to someone turning. As much as Ro said yung sinabi niya kanina, one of them is going to be successful, one of them is not. And they've been teasing yung dissension between the team before Inamura went away for a while. So I think this is where it's gonna go to.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's going there, but I don't think it's going there for a long time.
Yeah, I also find it pretty amusing na Inamura actually has more character depth to him than Briggs. I don't know if you've noticed it, pero parang mas fleshed out character si Inamura because he has these quirks where he's very schemy. Like, di ba, yung parang yung old Japanese secret. Remember that backstage vignette where he conned someone into getting his way? And then yung parang he fooled everyone and he was gonna go to Japan only to come back and to push himself and Briggs to a different level. So parang there's something sneaky fun about Inamura. And I say sneaky I'm very well aware na especially when you talk about Asians in America, parang stereotype siya. It's a negative stereotype. But in this case, it's actually a nice little wrinkle sa character ni Inamura, which gives him something different to anchor himself to, as opposed to, let's say, Briggs, who's really just a very straight babyface.
At this point, he has way more personality and character than Nakamura. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that is the harsh truth, isn't it? So yeah, good for Briggs and Inamura. Really happy to see this uncommon, unconventional babyface arc for a tag team in WWE. Anything else that we missed out on you guys want to talk about before we sign off here?
Not much.
Weren't you asking about? I don't know who asked it in the Discord. Their
It was
feelings
me.
about the D'Angelo story. Give me that wait about that for a sec.
I don't want to rant about it because I don't really feel strongly about it, but mostly because I haven't been following with the whole story. But to me, I also don't kind of care about it. But it's supposed to be intriguing, yes, kasi ang daming who did what, who's aligned with who's backing who. It's meant to be complex, but I can't sink my teeth into it. I don't know why.
Yeah, it for me it doesn't help that there's a similar story going sa SmackDown with the whole Solo and Jacob and
No, that story is super simple to follow, diba? It's really more of Solo is jealous of Jacob's being bigger than him. Diba?
Yeah, walang mystery yung kina Solo eh.
Yeah.
Ito meron.
Yeah, sabay.
Yeah, and I appreciate the effort that they're putting into really writing a complex story, which has been the norm for NXT post 2.0. Pero I don't know, it's just not clicking. I think it's because the whole premise of the Mafia family is just too corny to the point that, it wasn't played as seriously as the Bloodline nung panahon ni Roman. That now you want to expect us, I think, to take it as seriously as the Bloodline. You know what I mean? To take it as cinematically seriously as the Bloodline. So
plus I think they're trying to make the Mafia a thing, but without Tony D'Angelo. Kind of like how Judgment Day can move forward without the original members.
Oh.
So and they're trying out with Stax as that guy, as the new leader of this Mafia, of this group. Because Tony has been in NXT for what, 4 years,
Actually,
and probably it's time for him to move on to the main roster.
Actually feel bad for Tony because he has been all in and totally committed to the character. Pero yung pagka all in niya is nagiging katatawanan yung character na Mafia eh. Then they want to pivot into the Mafia serious super. It's like Soprano shit. Like I don't really feel, because for the longest time since 2021, you have been feeding me this silly Mafia caricature, and then you want to be serious about it. Diba? Buti pa yung Chase U, even though they were going through heavy emotional stuff, it was genuine and human from them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Does anyone else feel the same way about this?
And now Chase U gets to do it all over again. Diba? Nag-back to zero si Andre Chase. He has 2 new students, and they're probably going to go through the same arc for the next 3 years.
Andre Chase is destined to live out this loop for the rest of his career.
Oh man, he's going to be there forever in NXT.
He's going to do this until he's 90. On the bright side, that also probably means may trabaho si Andre Chase until he's 90.
Yeah, he's in the same spot.
Hindi ko magiging PC coach yun eventually.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, why not, diba? It's become a transition actually for some of their alums, like sina Oni Lorcan, Lindsay, Wesley Blake. So all of those guys are PC coaches now.
Oh shit, Wesley Blake is back.
Yeah, he's been there for a while.
Damn.
So yeah, okay. That's gonna do it for the live stream here. Let us know kung may kulang other than an encore of the Emil Nate dance break If there's anything else you want, hit us up at Wrestling2XPod on TikTok, Twitter, and Blue Sky, at Wrestling Podcast everywhere else. And individually, it is at Roas War, at Chino Supersized, at EML_Meister, at Monday Night Rowan for events producer Rowan, and at _Stan C for me. Anything going on that you guys want to plug?
Emil, baka meron ka. Ako ba? Sige.
Wala na.
Are you gonna promote what I was gonna promote? Okay, sure.
Yeah, go.
All right, guys. Puso Wrestling Carrera is on July 6th. Early bird discounts are only until tomorrow, Friday, June 20. So go check that out. 10% off if you order during the early bird period and you use the discount codes of any one of us. You can get mine, but also you can also support the discount codes of my fellow Puso wrestlers. Tapos, cheap tickets are really cheap. So for this one, so if you've been feeling the inflation lately from our ticket prices, you would be surprised to know that this show is under 1,000 pesos, no matter what. So yon, and then there's also a Puso Wrestling live stream again on Sunday night on YouTube. So go check that out. Antabangan nyo. Tapos just watch it. It's free. It's a free show for an hour, and we're just gonna have a lot of fun.
All right. As for me, PBA playoffs are on for the Philippine Cup. I'm doing Wednesdays on game experience duties. So if you want to see me in action, nangangantsaw ng mga fans, then go watch the PBA games. It's fun. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you to Babyface producer Jasper and everyone over at the Pod Network for all their help behind the scenes. And thank you all for catching another episode of the longest-running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. For Ro Moran and Emil Nate, I'm Stan C, reminding everyone to stay safe, stay dry, and don't be a dick. Wrestling Podcast. Out. Later, Outcasts.
Peace.